When I first started playing Magic, a generous viewer of mine shipped me a bunch of free cards. This was really fantastic and helped me get started. Included in that present was an Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, a card that I had played in Standard before it got banned, and all of the other cards at that time got banned, and then all of my decks were invalid on MTG Arena, and then I stopped playing Magic. So I saw the card again and I was inspired. You know what? Since I'm giving Magic a new try, maybe it's time to give Uro a new try. So I built a commander deck around him and I really liked it. Uro is powerful and resilient, always progresses our board state and is focused around attacking. These are all qualities that I enjoy. So as I was looking to explore other colors, it made sense to me to put together Uro's brother, Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger is a 2-mana Rakdos 6/6 that, when he enters or attacks, forces each of our opponents to discard a card, and if they can't or if they discard a land, then they also lose 3 life. This by itself would be kind of insane, so Kroxa comes with a downside. When he enters, he dies. He's just dead immediately. Rest in peace. Well, actually no, rest in peace would be kind of a problem, because we can play Kroxa out of the graveyard by paying 4 mana and by feeding him 5 other cards. And when he reanimates like this, Kroxa gets to stay on the battlefield for good. This creates an interesting play pattern for a commander. While we need to take some extra steps to get him onto the board initially, from that point onwards, whenever Kroxa dies, we just let him go to the graveyard instead of sending him to the command zone, and then play him again without needing to worry about the command attacks. He's very resilient in that annoying way, where he just doesn't ever go away, and since we get his trigger on both attack and ETB, it's almost guaranteed to happen at least once per turn. Most commander decks can't handle that. The first discard tends to be fine, annoying but not a big problem. The second, though, is felt much more closely, and the third dismantles the majority of strategies and turns the game into a crawling slugfest where everybody is constantly struggling for any resources they can get their hands on. And that was ultimately why I ended up taking this deck apart. A lot of my opponents just didn't enjoy the play patterns they were forced into, and that then took the fun out of it for me. But I know that some of you are little freaks that specifically want to play decks that make everybody else miserable. So this one goes out to you. Let's start out with a bunch of discard synergies. Guess Grimoire is probably the strongest card in the deck. It's a 4-mana artifact that lets us draw a card whenever one of our opponents discards a card. This gives us basically infinity card draw as soon as it hits the board, and more or less wins the game by itself. It's a bit of a build-your-own Kefka situation, although Kroxa does have the advantage of being much harder to kill. Waste-Not and Tiny Bones Warble Burglar fill a similar role, providing us with various resources as we force our opponents to discard. There's actually an interesting nuance to discarding. Eventually, we'll reach a state where our opponents are out of cards in hand, but Kroxa is still on the board, so they will always play whatever they draw. And while that doesn't lead to the most carefully crafted board states, it does mean that 3 things are getting pointed at us every turn. Because of that, the deck needs a lot of interaction. Ideally sweepers, as those hit a lot of stuff and we don't really care about our board dying all that much. I'm quite fond of Burn Down the House, a simple 5-mana spell that deals 5 damage to all creatures. This kills the vast majority of board states, but Kroxa powers through. Then we also have Nuclear Fallout, Blood Money, Mutinous Massacre, Decree of Pain, Blasphemous Act and the Meathook Massacre 2. A lot more board wipes than I would normally play, but then again I don't really play this deck anymore, so just gotta kill what our opponents have. The 2 massacres are also backup-in conditions for when smacking with Kroxa is taking too long. That is the ultimate game plan, by the way. Kroxa pings people for free on attack and is a 6/6. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of turns, but most of those turns will be draw, play one thing and pass, so the actual game time isn't quite as tedious as it sounds. Of course, we also play some additional beaters to help along. Cards like Inti, Seneschal of the Sun, Dog Detective and Sin Prodder help us apply pressure while also filling up our graveyard and maintaining card advantage. Lock, Treasure Hunter, is a card that I found to be an absolute MVP, not just in this deck, but in general. Lock is a 3-mana 2/3 that can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. When he attacks, each player mills a card, and then we create a treasure token if a land was milled that way. Also, we get to cast a spell milled this way until end of turn. Lock is kind of Ragavan's big brother. He plays very similarly, generating mana and card advantage every turn, but he also helps us self-mill, which is fantastic. We need to self-mill in this deck. Playing Kroxa without actively filling up our graveyard is quite difficult. However, I would advise to stay away from cards that only self-mill, and instead, I try to focus on engine pieces that happen to dump things into our graveyard. For example, Ripples of Undeath is amazing, and one of the most expensive cards in the deck. A 2-mana enchantment that mills us for free every turn, and then also lets us pay a mana and 3 life to put a card from among the milled into our hand. This fills up our graveyard, but also gives us cards and card selection at the same time, which I think makes for a much more robust way of building a long-term plan. Similar options here are Unshakable Tail, Veronica, Dissident Scribe, and Jaxus, the Troublemaker. Not exactly self-mill, but they get cards into the graveyard while being otherwise solid game pieces. I'd like to shout out one of my favorite cards here, Embrace the Unknown. Embrace the Unknown is a red 3-mana sorcery that lets us impulse draw 2 cards. So far, nothing impressive, a bit below rate for this kind of effect. But Embrace the Unknown has Retrace, meaning we can play it out of our graveyard by discarding a land card. This is amazing in any deck that discards or self-mills frequently. Embrace the Unknown assures that we can never get land flooded, since we can always just discard a land to dig deeper into our deck, and we can do that any number of times. It's an amazing consistency piece that comes at basically no deck building cost. Another card that I think is very cute in this deck is Vix Patrol. This is a 6-mana 5/3 that enters and mills us 3 cards. Then we get to give a creature an opponent controls as many minus stats as the highest mana value among cards in our graveyard. Since we play a bunch of expensive sweepers, the average mana value of this deck is actually quite high, so it's not unusual for this to be enough to take down even the strongest creatures. It's still not a great card, I'm not going to try to convince you of that, but I just like it and I wanted to find an excuse to play it. Rounding out the deck is a bunch of instant speed interaction, some additional card draw, the Regalia, of course, and a couple bigger finishes. Sepulchral Primordial goes crazy here, since we quickly fill up our opponent's graveyards with all kinds of creatures. And that's it. It's a bit of a controlling deck, but it also likes to get on the board and fight. It just fights dirty. But hey, if that's something you like, then I think you'll enjoy this list. It's around €60 and intended for Bracket 2 games. Let me show it off in a match on Magic the Gathering Online. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see the full deck list, please support me on Patreon. You can find the full list there, as well as a bunch of bonus content. Okay, time to get into the game. Okay, looking at our hand, it is not good. I should not keep this. But I have a Regalia. We have the Bronco. The Bronco is another card draw. If we draw 1 mountain, we're actually in amazing shape. If we don't, then it's not so fantastic. I just want to drive with my car. Ooh, Starfish. Is the Starfish better? No. Oh, we are dead. Oh no. Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel. That is an issue. Can I complain for a moment? So whenever I make a video where I talk about cards, right, like here's a bunch of cool cards, there's always gonna be some people that are like, actually you're wrong. All of the cards you say are terrible. And that's fine. That's just how Magic players are. But for that last video where I talked about Malcolm, I talked about Insidious Fungus and whatnot, somebody left a comment that got like a disturbing number of upvotes, which was, oh, all of these are too expensive for what they do. And I'm like, there's a 1 and a 2 mana card in there. I don't know. Malcolm is not too expensive for what he does. Oh my god, he's not. So this is a Towns deck. Interesting. Did we keep a 2-lander as well? Did you make this mistake as well? Putrefy. Oh my god. Yes. Somebody knows how broken that card is. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for keeping us safe from this menace. Because I wasn't gonna do that. Wait, you're blocking that? These guys are just sabotaging themselves. Oh my god, we got a land. It's not the land I wanted, but it is a land. Let's attack with the Bronco first. Let's see what happens. So we got another land. That's actually amazing. I think I'll play the Tainted Peak then. And play the Professional Facebreaker. Nice thing about Professional Facebreaker is that it doesn't need to attack itself, right? It just needs something to attack. That's a scary card. That is a scary card. That can go wild pretty quickly. Soul of Windgrace. Okay, that's pretty good. That's ramp. Time to start driving a car. Go down the fast lane. Have a great time. I think I will crew with the Professional Facebreaker. So you attack here. You attack here. We get 2 treasures. I mean, we're in a great spot. The question here is, do we want to play the Sinister Starfish? I need some way to fill up my graveyard. I don't have that yet. I don't have anything else to do with my mana anyways. Okay, 5. No, 4. 4. It's just Callan. It's just Callan. It's actually like maybe a small problem, isn't it? Destroy up to 1 target artifact. But my car is an artifact. No, I need my car. Windgrace's Judgment. Destroy any number of target non-land permanents. Well, I guess my car is fucking dead then. I suppose in that scenario, I don't need to worry about my fucking car anymore. That is very rude, I have to say. That's very rude. I gotta get rid of this thing, don't I? That's ramping a lot. Let's just go to attacks first. Let's see what the Bronco gets us. I mean, it might just kill us. Like, that is, Okay, we got an untapped swamp. That's nice. We get some treasures. I'm really nowhere near actually getting to cast Kroxa, but I do want this Monarch on the board, actually. I think having a 4/4 is valuable here. I think let's just kind of sneak in this guy. We do need to cast him at some point. All right, Kroxa goes into the graveyard. And then we will play the Lost Monarch of Ifnir. And that's pretty much the turn, yeah. I miss my car. Wait, is the only thing that you can destroy right now my treasure? That's a little bit annoying. I guess you can destroy your clue to draw a card. Oh, no, we are. Wait, oh no, I'm auto-yielding. Oops, my bad. I'm getting attacked again. There are other players. Eumidian Waste Waker. So this is another discard thing. I'm still getting attacked. No, I will block this. Okay, upkeep. Let's check the Starfish. Let's see what we get. Swamp. I think I actually don't like that. All right, let's cycle this. It's another swamp. I will use a treasure here. I will cycle this Forgotten Cave as well. So we've got our boy. Now we're gonna start draining people. Okay, Snort, we took another 4. It's not ideal. We have Chaos Warp ready, in case we need it. You know, Snort is not really the most synergistic card in this deck. Kind of like it though. Just think it's a cool card. Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm not the only one getting attacked all the time anymore. This can destroy Hawful. Yeah, that's brutal. Oh man, that sucks. Sucks to be you, buddy. Brutal. Jason, and then probably Infinite Guideline Station is a time. It's gonna draw 3 cards. That's not too bad. Oh no, it doesn't draw any. It makes robots. That is a pirate. Still playing very defensive over there. I gotta get rid of that board. It's too much. I guess I can like Chaos Warp the Infinite Guideline Station. I think I should do that right now. But Juka Bog. No, my Embrace the Unknown. My 1 card in my graveyard gets exiled. How mean, how mean, how mean. Okay. Chaos Warp this thing. Let's Surveil again. Ooh, I'm very interested in this card as well. I kind of want to keep it on top. Let's draw that bad boy. And then we go to attacks. Where did you come from? Right. There's this like pesty other effect that Chaos Warp has. Alright, everybody get rid of a card. Okay, so we get 1 treasure out of this. Yeah, I don't think we can leave the Moldrova on the board. That just does not seem like a course of action we can take here. But we can just replay Kroxa. So I will play Nuclear Fallout. That gives everything -6, -6. And I guess people get rad counters. It's kind of cool, I suppose. Doesn't really do that much, but like, I guess it's something. And we just replay the boy. That's the strength of the Titans. They just come back immediately. Now we've got a 6/6 on the board. Another trigger. Get rid of some more cards. We're chilling. Soul Ring. Ooh. Oh, now I'm coming for you. Okay, Radiation. Slowly beats them down as well. The Reaver Cleaver. Alright. This guy's just hanging in there. Ooh. Alright. That's a somewhat big creature. Faithless Looting is excellent. Holy shit. Is that the best draw possible? That's actually so freaking good. Also, we don't need to worry about interaction anymore. It's not like anybody has any cards in hand. Alright, let's start by Faithless Looting. This is definitely going into the graveyard. I think we're discarding Snort. Just get rid of that. So, at this stage, I could Ruthless Technomancer the Kroxa to replay the Kroxa. That does not seem like the worst thing to do. Alright, the Technomancer enters. We're gonna sacrifice Kroxa. We'll play Charming Scoundrel. Get rid of the Wayfarer's Bauble. Should have done this after combat, I feel. Yeah, okay, kind of didn't really pay that much attention to this thing. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. I mean, I'm committing. Do your thing, buddy, do your thing. It feels a little bit like we just gotta find some removal for this thing. It's just, I've made a horrible mistake. That's gonna get rid of that last card in hand from these two. Alright, let's play Lock. Okay, let's go to combat. Everybody mills a card. We should make a treasure. I think I just play the Ornithopter to block. Make it so this thing can't just get a 10 damage hit in on me for free. I have to admit, I think I played this very poorly. Whatever the worst option was, we found it at every twist and turn. So good job, us, I guess. People still have some radiation as well. I managed to get people down quite low in HP. Whether or not it's enough, we'll see at least, I suppose. Okay, Bedor. Oh, I'm gonna get hit by a Loto for 4. That's mildly concerning, I suppose. So Beto was a very nice draw, because it's a creature that's actually big enough that Kroxa can't just beat through it. And that's very rare. I have also been playing a little bit of 1 versus 3, and that's okay. That's just how it's gonna go. But I don't think I'm winning this game. Ooh, Knight's Whisper. That's actually like a little greedy at this stage, isn't it? Losing 2 life? That's not an insignificant amount of life at this stage. Okay, so how full is not swinging in? Yes, 1 burn. Very good. Very good. Be chill, be cool. Don't need to attack me. I'm an innocent guy. I've never done anything wrong. Oh, man. Alright, I am blocking. Rest in peace, Ornithopter. I could kill this player, which seems sensible because this one is like threatening lethal on me immediately. I guess I've kind of talked myself into that. Gotta end the game eventually. Flock doesn't hit anything particularly interesting. I can also just play the Unshakable Tail. I got a Swords. I mean, I think I will just Swords the Betor, to be honest. Alright, that's 1 play out. This guy has 6 HP. About to be a little bit more because I'm Swordsing that. Gotta get rid of it. Haha, that's 1 more burn. Loto is getting paid well. We have successfully run out of resources. So is everybody else. What a slugfest. Malcolm is just gonna hit us. There's nothing we can really do about that. Breaches, we'll probably block with the Ruthless Technomancer and the Charming Scoundrel. Oh, that's a GG. That's a concession. Okay. I mean, admittedly, if that was like a land, then yeah, that's fair. You ain't gonna do too much in that situation. So it's actually gonna come down to the 2 of us. Oh no. All right, there's the Reaver Cleaver. That's gonna swing in. Not much we can do about it. Don't have a flyer. Doesn't do that much either, though. So let's see what that exile hits. A mountain. Oh, we're good. I'm actually like, thank you for getting rid of that. I didn't want to see that mountain. Thunderhead Gunner. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have any cards to discard. Okay, we'll do Plague first. We get to now exile cards until we find until we like hit a non-land. I got Scion of Darkness. Oh, God. Wait, that's revealed. Counterspell. Fuck. So I guess I don't get to play my Scion of Darkness. That's disappointing. Who knows? Maybe they missed it. Wait, they did! I think they misunderstood how it works. Hell yeah, give me that Scion of Darkness. Oh, that's a big boy. That's a big boy. And we fucking go. We're just coming in. I ain't gonna do the math. You figure it out. We get a lock trigger again. And we hit a creature, which means Unshakable Tail triggers. Kroxa trigger. Is this enough? I guess we'll see. I actually don't think it is enough. Well, since you only blocked the Scion of Darkness, and this guy actually has Trample, I guess we got him. Let's go! This is a deck that's all about getting into this grind state where we just kind of like slug it out with our opponents. However, it can also have a massive resource advantage. We didn't end up drawing any of them this game, but there are cards in the deck like Waste Not and Guess Grimoire that just give us a huge amount of cards for making our opponents discard. And in those situations, you know, it feels a little bit unfair. But hey, I think that was actually a really cool game. I think that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Would definitely appreciate that. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. There's a link down in the description. On my Patreon, you can find this deck list and all of the other deck lists that I built. This deck in particular, and now this is something I try to do across all of my decks, but I try to avoid repeat cards. So in case you're wondering why there are like certain cards that I didn't include that would be good, like Unexpected Windfall or... Okay, wait, that's the only one I can think of on the spot, but anyways, you get the idea. Oh yeah, a bunch of like flashback cards. It's because I use those in the Soul Ring deck, and I try to have diversity. So like I really want to make sure that there's a package there where if you don't, like where you can kind of like play multiple of the decks that I make and you will have a variety of cards that you're working with. So go check out my Patreon, there's a link down in the description, and that's it for today. All right, I'll see you guys around. Goodbye.